One, two, three witnesses. There was three witnesses. All right. The first witness was a cop. He was a great witness. I appreciate that member of the LAPD, sir. If you're watching this, shout out to you. He gave straight answers to the point. He was very direct, very confident. I appreciated him. He didn't really have much to say. I mean, what he said was, look, the way they caught Youngboy is, so they got a warrant. Now, once they get the warrant, they went to his cell phone company and they told the cell phone company, give up his GPS. And so they get pings saying where this guy's at. So that morning, like 20, 30 agents and officers all round up and they say, all right, we got his phone pinging. This is where he's at. He's at this house. So we're going to set up. And so one of the officers, the first officer who was there on the scene and had sort of monitored and set up a little surveillance area around the house, was the first guy to testify. He didn't really have a lot to say. He said that, look, I got to the spot. I was looking and the defense attorneys were like, yo, did you see how many other people went in and out the house? And he was like, nah, I don't remember none of that. You know, good for Youngboy because it shows that, you know, he is not aware, but there will be other witnesses who come in and show that other people had gone in and out of the house. That's all really that guy had to say, that I saw Youngboy drive out of the house, and then we followed him in our car. And really, that's kind of all he had to say. The second guy was an FBI agent. It was, not really very interesting testimony. So the second guy, can we please see your badge status of lawyer? I'm a real lawyer. I'm a lawyer in New York, but I'm a real lawyer. Yeah, there's going to be court tomorrow. All right, so the second guy who testified was an FBI agent. And this FBI agent, he didn't really know much either. He was like, yeah, I was in the car. He confirmed, he serves to confirm that Youngboy was in that car. I don't think anybody's debating that Youngboy's in that car, but he testified that I saw him head on. I saw him from the side. I had a picture of him. I know that was him in the car. And then he was like, when he pulled off, I tried to chase him, but I couldn't really keep up, or I was really slow. And he's like, and then I lost him and I don't know what else happened. And that was his testimony. That was really the end of it. The third guy who testified was interesting. All right. So stay with me on this. All right. The third guy who testified was an FBI special agent. So what does that mean? That means that he's a member of the FBI charged with investigating federal crimes. And his AOR, which is what the FBI calls it, his area of responsibility was the Los Angeles office. No, you can't watch the trial live because in federal court, they say every judge has their own rules. And in this, every court has its own rules. With this court, with this judge, there are no cameras allowed. No photos allowed in the courtroom. You will not see any footage. In the YSL case in Georgia, that state court, that judge, they do allow cameras, so you will see footage. You're never going to see any footage in this case. If you do, it's illegal. And yeah. So this FBI agent, he was the third person to testify, and the Fed agent was discussing his investigation of the crime scene, basically, right? So the crime scene here is the 2022 Mercedes Maybach truck. And he testified about, how he collected evidence from the truck, what he saw in the truck. Now, the very key piece of evidence, or the key part of this FBI agent's testimony, is where he saw the gun. Nick Mundros, we're not doing the Patreon. We're going to keep it free. I think we're going to keep it free. I don't know. Maybe we'll do the Patreon, but I think we're going to keep it free. Everybody should have the benefit of this. I don't want to go behind a paywall. Not yet. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But all right, so this FBI agent is testifying about what he found in the car. And this is important, right? Because think about the case. The case is constructive possession. NBA Youngboy knew the gun was there. That's the prosecution's case. The defense's case is there's a lot of people around this guy. He's got a lot of cars. He's got a lot of houses. There were a lot of people at that house that day. There's a lot of fingerprints on this gun. None of it ties NBA Youngboy. So maybe it was somebody else's gun. Maybe he didn't know it was there. That's the defense's whole case. So when the FBI agent testified, the key thing for the jury to understand is where was the gun? What did he see in the car? What was going on as far as all that goes? So the FBI agent said that he saw the gun on the back floorboard. And it's a very obvious gun. Like, it's a tan gun, and the floor of the truck is this black carpet. So when you see the tan gun on the black carpet, like, you really see that bit. It's like, oh, yeah, there's a gun here. Boom. So the defense attorneys whole point was that that officer, that FBI agent who went to go investigate that gun, that was the third officer who went in the car looking for the gun, or the fourth guy who went in the car looking for the gun. And the point from the defense is, look, it was the third or the fourth, I'm not sure which one, but the point of the defense was, look, if you look at the picture of how this FBI agent found this gun, it should be clear to you that this gun was moved from wherever it was when Kentrell Gaulden was in the car. And here's why. And this is the defense's point. That two other officers went in that car and took a look around. And if those two other officers went in that car and they took a look around, and that gun is where the police say it was when Kentrell was in the car, then they would have seen it and they would have confiscated, or they would have alerted other law enforcement and said, hey, gun in the car, gun in the car, gun in the car. That's protocol, that's policy. In fact, two officers got in that car, took a look around, and did not see the gun, which suggests that the gun was not in plain view. The gun was not in a place where anybody who gets in that car sees it. It had to be moved by an officer. And so if an officer moved the gun, took it out from being tucked, and pulled it out into plain view, that's the only way the FBI agent would have been able to see it so easily when he was like the third or the fourth guy to get in the car. And so the whole takeaway from all that, we'll see if the jury understands it. Hopefully their lawyer's presentation is better than mine so the jury can follow. Their whole point is, look, multiple cops went in that car. They didn't see the gun. Why? Because the gun was not out in the open. And so Youngboy could have gone in that car and he could have also not seen the gun because it was not out in the open. That is the three witnesses that testified today. Tomorrow will be day 2 of the trial. There'll probably be a third day and maybe even a fourth day. There's 1, 2, 3 witnesses. There was 3 witnesses.